Happy Tuesday, and welcome here to another edition of Husker Online Headlines. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple. You're not confused. It is Headlines on Tuesday. We had to kind of rearrange the furniture this week just because of some other conflicts. So the regular Husker Online show will be on Thursday.
Confusing.
But we're moving it around. There were some volleyball and basketball conflicts, and we didn't want to tape on Wednesday, Thursday. So let's just do Headlines on Tuesday. Husker Online show on Thursday.
Well, it kind of keeps our time schedule the same, correct?
Yeah, we're going to keep it Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday with the trip out to State College. But we're brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Sartor Hamann Jewelers, and you'll hear more from them later in the show. And our title sponsor, StayHome.Care. They offer many of the same types of personalized care you'd find in a nursing home, right in the comfort of your home. Whether your loved one is young or old with a disability, recovering from surgery, or simply just needs extra help when they're sick, StayHome.Care provides consistent, compassionate support from personal care and companionship to daily tasks like laundry, meal prep, and assistance with appointments or outings. We're here for you when your loved ones need you and you can't be there. Head to StayHome.Care to learn more. That's .care, not .com. Again, you can learn more at StayHome.Care or call them at 402-205-2233. Our heart is with you because we put our heart in everything we do. Your home, our care, StayHome.Care. I wonder if they help sports writers out during the busy weeks of the football season, Sip. We need to double check on that one.
Yes, let's double check. All right.
Call Chuck and Nina and see if they can
maybe
assist me during the season.
Yeah,
I need it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I need a lot of help. We know you do too. But let's get into headline number one. Big week as Nebraska travels out to Penn State. Nebraska, headline number one, will face a deceiving PSU team. And what's deceiving is record-wise, they're one of the worst teams, if not the worst team Nebraska has played all year. Yet the point spread for this game is the largest Nebraska will face.
Wow.
In terms of being an underdog. And it is and we knew that going into the year. But even with Penn State losing it like they have, they started out 0-6 before they won their first conference game last week. They're still about a 9.5, 10-point favorite over Nebraska heading into Happy Valley on Senior Day.
Yeah, and Dana Holgorsen just slipped into the conversation today that Nebraska will have to play up. Isn't that interesting? You have to play up.
Well, in terms of NFL draft pick talent, they have more than Nebraska. Am I wrong with that or right?
No, I mean, I've heard those national guys say that Penn State has a lot of second to fourth rounders. You know, it probably.
And Aller was a first rounder.
Yeah. And their season's just been odd. I mean, I watched the Oregon game, Sean. It was on late September. And they lost in two overtimes. They lost in double overtime. And then it just unraveled really fast. It's been really odd the way it's went. They lost. You remember, it's almost one of those where you were moments. They lost at UCLA. And you're like, what? On
CBS in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, you're like, okay, now that's a problem. Then bigger problem. They lost to Northwestern 22-21 at home, which was sort of probably like the last straw type thing. Now, since then, Sean, it's not like they've been that bad. They lost 25-24 to Iowa. Not bad, right? At Iowa. They pushed Ohio State for a half, then lost 38-14. We watched in a memorable scene at a pastrami place in Pasadena, the end of the Indiana-Penn State game, which was the game of the year in college football, right?
One of the games for sure.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, you could make a case game of the year, push them to the very limit, and then came back last week and ran the ball 50 times, I think, for 230 yards against Michigan State and got a win. They're not bad.
When they
all.
When the games where they've been not good is when they don't run it well. I mean, against Oregon, Nick Singleton and Katron Allen had a combined 23 carries for 75 yards. You go and look at their game against UCLA, the one that they lost in the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
Singleton, 11 carries, 39 yards. Allen, 8 for 50. So 19 carries for 89 yards.
It's really curious.
But what they had to kind of get desperate, and Aller was running it a lot, in other games like that they were losing.
Yeah.
So their two bell cow backs were not, and these are draft picks. Let's not beat around the bush.
Yeah.
They're lost to Northwestern, 23 carries, 110 yards for Singleton Allen. Last week, we saw 40 carries.
Right. They got it going last week, and their offensive coordinator is Andy Koldenicki. And he told Gary Danielson, you were in the TV world. They have those midweek meetings where the
production meetings.
Yeah, the production meetings where those big time announcers get access to the coaches. And Koldenicki told him we probably got away from who we are. We're a running team. That's what Penn State is. And we probably got too fancy. And now we'll get to this in the next headline or one of the following headlines that they're going to hammer it at Nebraska. But they kind of found their way against Michigan State, ran for 182 yards in the second half, and that's what you're kind of gearing for. But then they have a defense that has multiple pass rushers. You saw it against Indiana. It was pretty lethal.
And we'll hit on that too here in another headline. So,
And now what do you expect the crowd to be like?
Well, the ticket market indicates that you can get in for $5. And I just did a check on Game Time, our great ticket partner here at On3. You can get on the 50-yard line, 4 seats behind Nebraska's bench, like 20 rows up for $53 a ticket, which that's a great seat at Penn State.
So it really is.
It's kind of pick your seat, pick your price, anywhere from $5 to $50. You can get in that stadium for a great seat or an elite seat. And the students, the other X factor is how many of those kids will stick around, because Friday classes end and they're off for a week.
Oh boy.
So how many kids will just say, you know what, I'm going to stick around Saturday, go to the game and go home Sunday? Or how many of those kids will say, you know what, I'm going home Friday to start my Thanksgiving week back home?
Yeah. I don't have any read on that.
I don't either. And that's, will we see a full student section like you normally would, or will it be half full? I mean, what will that be? Because when that student section's rolling, it's tough.
Yeah. So Dana saying that today it really caught my attention. That in saying that, Sean, isn't he basically saying that, we're not as talented as Penn State? Kind of saying that we got to play up.
I look at this as like the Michigan game. I mean, they're going to have 2 good running backs like Michigan had, and they're going to have probably better overall defensive parts than Nebraska has.
Yeah. They'll be very physical up front. This is a trenches game.
This is a big game for like Elijah Judy. It's a big game for
Keona Davis, Williams and Wary,
Corcoran
staying on defense. Van Poppel, huge game for Van Poppel. Those type of guys. But yeah, then you switch it over at just a big game for the offensive line. It's particularly those guys on the edge because number 33 for Penn State's a bear.
Hey, think about this too. The storyline of Matt Rule going back to State College a month ago, we're like, man, this is going to be all anyone's going to. Right. I feel like that thing has just kind of gone away.
Yeah, it seemingly has, although the job's still open. The Penn State job is still open, but I don't. Occasionally people say to me, is it over? Is it really over with Penn State and Rule? And I'm like, where's the evidence, any evidence that suggests it's not over, right? I think it's over.
Yeah.
It'd be really odd now if it circled back to Rule.
The one thing for Penn State that's helped them, though, is they're only going to have to pay James Franklin $9 million, not 50 or 52.
That's a help. The one other thing I want to point out in this open session here, first headline, Penn State has blocked 4 punts this season. That's for the first time since 1999. It's not like they always do that. They've blocked 4 punts. And Danny Dennis Sutton, who's their best defensive player, number 33 that we keep talking about. He blocked one against Michigan State, and that was his 3rd. He's blocked 3 of them.
Boy, Michigan State's given up a lot of block punts.
Yeah. Is that a concern of yours at all?
No, because Archie Wilson's a good athlete and he gets it off.
Yeah, he does.
There hasn't been, and Mike Eckler knows this. He's going to be ready for it.
Yeah.
All right, let's take it before we go to headline number 2. Again, we're brought to you by the title sponsor of StayHome.Care. Call them at 402-205-2233 to learn more about them and what they can do for you. And we're brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Sartor Hamann Jewelers. 120 years. It's a Nebraska tradition. 4 generations of fine jewelry. Check out our Beat the Rush specials from November 20th through 22nd. Get your shopping done early this year and save big. Specials include our famous Sartor Hamann diamonds, tennis bracelets. Yes, they are back. Save almost $800 on the 1 carat tennis bracelet and even more, all the way up to 10 carats total in diamond weight. Other specials during the Beat the Rush sale. These are very limited, so get your orders in early and see our website to confirm so you don't miss out. She will love it. You will love it, and we'll make it so easy to be the hero here for the holidays. Sartor Hamann Jewelers, give her a lifetime treasure that won't break the bank, and it could not be simpler. Go to SartorHamann.com or visit them on all the social media platforms. When only the best will do. It's Sartor Hamann Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. All right, you better start thinking about your Christmas shopping, Sip.
I am thinking about it right now.
You were like, your wheels are spinning.
Yes.
But let's take it to headline number 2. TJ Lateef will face a much different element. Think about this. TJ Lateef goes from sunny 82-degree Southern California, his home territory, to, as John Butler called, a place where the sun doesn't come out. A cold, gray, dark Northeast State College.
Yeah.
A little bit more hardened.
It's like a big metal stadium on a hill. It's leaks. You know, if you happen to be going to the bathroom under it and it's raining, you'll get wet. It's just kind of an old.
They probably have troughs still.
maybe it's an old gray. It's just you're right. It's it's a markedly different atmosphere than the road. I mean, everybody kind of knows that, but when you've been there like us several times, it is pretty stark. Like, it's tough.
Think about the wine and cheese crowd at UCLA compared to like the crowd at Penn State.
It's not a pleasant crowd at Penn State, I would say. It's not pleasant towards even their team sometimes, right? Think about those scenes with James Franklin coming off the field
with his daughter, and they're yelling at him.
Yeah, and I can remember the first time I went there in 2003, and was it 2002 when Jamal Lord was starting? That's right, it's 2002. Thank you, Sean. I was struck by. It reminded me of when Missouri got going, and the crowds were it wasn't friendly.
Oh, it just engulfed you. And that 02 game,
and it wasn't friendly.
Like, we think about the times we've been out there. 2011 was kind of a freak show because Paterno got fired that week.
Mm-hmm.
And they were ranked in the top, it was a top 10 level team still at that point.
Okay.
And Nebraska wins that game. 2013, we go out there, and we'll talk about this more, but Nebraska made the winning kick in overtime with Pat Smith.
Mm-hmm.
2017, we go out there, and Sorsby was their quarterback, and that was a very good Penn State team that, Tanner Lee was playing quarterback for Nebraska, and they put up some cheap yards and points in that game late.
Yeah.
And it was a little misleading.
It was 56-44,
but it was kind of like Penn State called the dog. But every one of these games has been unique, though.
Uh-huh. So now we're going out there, and I don't know that we know what to expect, except I don't expect that. See that photo on the screen? I don't expect it to look like that. For one thing, it's not going to be a whiteout.
That big end zone there where it has like the double deck. I mean, that is a massive end zone. That might be one of the bigger end zone sections you'll see, along with Nebraska's in the South. But how full will that big end zone be?
I don't know. As far as Lateef goes, it's gonna, I know the pass rush is going to look different than it did against UCLA. And as Holgerson mentioned today, they have gotten aggressive on defense. Jim Knowles, more pressure oriented. Sean, do you think it's sort of about, hey man, we're not challenging for all the marbles anymore. There's really not that much pressure on us. Let's just turn it loose. That's what I see. And Lateef's going to have to deal with that. Pass defense, Penn State's 12th in the nation. Total defense, they're 22nd in the nation. It's a top 25 defense.
Yeah, they're heavy favorites. I mean, you think about all the games that Penn State has lost. I'm not even sure they've really been an underdog in any of these games. I mean, they've lost almost every game as a favorite.
Ohio State.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one game.
They'd be the underdog in that one.
And they played. Yeah, that's the one game. But you think
about Indiana, right?
I'm looking at the Massey numbers, and they were the pick to win. A lot of Indiana was a favorite, and Ohio State was a favorite. But they played Indiana better than arguably anybody all year, along with Iowa.
Yep.
Michigan State. But Massey ranks Penn State as an 84% chance to win this game.
Jeez.
They're projecting 31-20.
Jeez. It's just in the context of Penn State's immensely disappointing season, the remarkable fall from top 2 team to what it is, but still being favored like that is very unique. It's a unique situation.
Well, think about it. Oregon beat them in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
UCLA beat them 42-37. Northwestern beat them 22-21.
Right.
Iowa beat them 25-24. Indiana beat them 27-24. It has the feel of kind of 2021 Nebraska, where they could easily have won all those games. Well, they've lost them all,
except for one big difference. Nebraska wasn't picked second nationally in the preseason that year.
No,
Penn State was picked number 2. So, but number 2 in this Lindy's magazine, I believe they're number 2 in the AP poll. They were number 1 in some polls. So
Lateef, though, back to him.
Yeah.
You got to have a kind of an escape plan. If you recognize zero blitz, 6 people coming, what will the plan be?
I don't know. Roll him out of there a lot.
Get rid of.
Get rid of it, but also get him out of there.
Remember how critical people were though of Satterfield last year against Jim Knowles at Ohio State? How many screens that Dylan had to throw?
Yeah.
But then Ohio State was athletic enough that even with pressure, they could
recover.
They still shut down the screens.
Yeah, I don't know what. I hope Dana has better answer than that.
Because the screen, remember, they tried to combat Jim Knowles with screens, and he just destroyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, they better have better answer than that. One of the answers is Lateef, his feet, his Lafitte.
Okay, Tim Brando.
I don't know. I don't know. Against UCLA, they did a great job running slants. That can be. You can beat pressure with that sometimes. Ball's got to come out quick though. He's got to get it up over those linemen. This is a huge. Just this headline. It's gigantic. This Lateef discussion, and you would agree with this. I know if he goes and beats Penn State after beating UCLA, that quarterback conversation at Nebraska gets real. Real. Because there'll be some oomph behind it. That's when you start to say there's going to have to be some tough decisions made, right?
Yeah, this is either going to go really, really well, or it's going to be a very humbling kind of back to reality experience.
Yeah.
I think it's one or the other.
Yep. Yeah. Isn't it fascinating? We're lucky. It's God. We're going to see a very interesting ball game, Sean.
We're sitting around all day Saturday waiting.
We can watch ball. USC Oregon's huge monster game.
We're staying a 15-minute walk from the stadium.
So we can walk?
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to go buy a winter coat today.
Yeah, you might want to kind of level up your coat game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to level it up. I'm
going to pull it. One year, Dan Hoppin on our road travels, remember one year we played at Wisconsin and it was really cold out there.
Wisconsin?
And it snowed. Dan just had a windbreaker and that was it.
Well, I can tell you my own personal story. When Smith kicked those field goals in 2013, that was as cold as it was miserable out. And all I had was a sweatshirt. I wore a sweatshirt to the game. We couldn't find our car afterwards. I'm not joking when I say I feared freezing to death. I did. I was that cold. I remember when I got to the car, finally we found it. It was dark. You know how big that lot is? We couldn't find the car. And
the lot's over a mile.
Yeah, we got to the car, and I remember sitting in the front seat and literally thanking the big man upstairs that I made it to this.
It's like the scene in Sopranos when Christopher and Paulie get stranded out in the woods, and then they start eating the ketchup packets in the car.
I didn't see that, but I can relate. And I never said anything to anybody. I just was like, it was just this silent. Oh my God, this was not.
It was Christopherson and you.
I think it was 2000. It was 13.
Yeah.
So it would have been Christopherson, pretty sure. I can't remember who.
Yeah, for some reason they'll never play Nebraska Penn State in September.
I don't know.
It's got to be
I don't know.
As close to Thanksgiving as possible.
Yeah. What was the COVID date?
Well, that was in Lincoln.
Yeah.
And that was 2020, and that was in November because the season didn't start till basically November.
Yeah.
It was November 15th.
Okay. Anyway.
All right. Well, let's
Lateef. Big challenge.
Before we take it to headline number 3, we're getting brought to you by the title sponsor of StayHome.Care. Phenomenal company, great services. Learn more about them at their website. It's StayHome.Care. Call them at 402-205-2233. Also, we are brought to you by HelloFresh.
Hello.
And look, who doesn't want to eat right, eat healthy, and have it all at your disposal? I mean, I think that is the challenge of trying to cook and plan at home, because you don't know what you're going to buy at the store, because you don't really have a game plan of what you're going to eat. And you don't really know what you want to cook. You've got kind of your go-to recipes that you kind of get tired of. Well, HelloFresh does it all for you. They give you hundreds of different recipe options to pick from, and you pick it. You want seafood? Do you want steak? Do you want healthy? Do you want quick? Do you want easy? They've got all these recipes, and some of them take 15 minutes to cook, and some could take 30 or 40, but they give you an easy-to-follow recipe card. They send all the meats and the produce, all the spices, everything right to your house fresh. It's never frozen. It's in a cooler. It arrives that week, and it's simple. You say, hey, I need 2 meals for me and my wife, 2 meals for the week for 2 people. They send you exactly that. You can say 4, whatever the number is. So you're not going to be cooking more than you need. And that's another real positive of HelloFresh that we really like. They've got a great deal right now at HelloFresh. Take advantage of this right now. Go to the website, HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM, and you're going to get 10 free meals and a free breakfast item for life, 1 per box with active subscription. It's free meals applied as a discount on the first box. New subscribers only. It does vary by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM to get those 10 free meals and the free breakfast item for life. Thanks again to HelloFresh for sponsoring us here on the Husker Online Headlines Show. All right, headline 3. Can Nebraska stop Penn State's ground assault? And, we've hit on this a little bit, but they've seen some good ones this year. You could argue Justice Haynes and the one they saw earlier in the year is very similar to what Nick Singleton and Katron Allen are going to be.
Yep.
The difference is I would say that, Haynes was maybe the best home run back in the conference.
Yeah, I think Haynes and Marshall are better. I think Michigan has a better
So they've seen something like this.
Yeah. Haynes and Marshall. Now, Marshall's hurt too. So Haynes is hurt. Now Marshall's hurt. But those two guys weren't hurt against Nebraska. They were more apt to hit a home run, especially Haynes. Katron Allen. Now, Sean, Allen's been by far the better of the two this year. And he's a big dude. He's not gigantic, 5'11", 217. Singleton's the bigger of the two, 224.
3.9 a carry. That's not impressive.
No, Singleton hasn't been great this year. It's Allen. He's been better. Allen has rushed for 917 yards, 5.6 a carry, 12 TDs. But they kind of, like you said earlier, we don't have to cover it again. They kind of lost their way a little bit. And then look at that. See, that game against Michigan State's the one that concerns you because they kind of found it. They went on a 13-play touchdown drive late in that game, and they ran it 12 times. They ran for 182 yards in the second half. And I think they feel pretty chest puffy right now. Like we can now. And what do you do against Nebraska? What would you do, Sean? You run it to 91st ranked rush defense in the country. You just hammer it at them, right?
And they play a lot of station-to-station baseball. Katron Allen only has 21 10-plus yard runs. Nick Singleton only has 8.
No, they're not home run hitters.
Singleton's only made 16 tacklers miss on 108 attempts. So it's just a lot of what's there. They're not a lot of yards per contact after contact. I mean, it is an interesting because these two guys are getting a lot of NFL praise.
Yeah.
They've only fumbled it once, though, the two backs.
Yeah, that's telling. It's not an insurmountable challenge. Here's the key, Sean. You know this. It's not the first quarter. It's not the second quarter. It's not the third quarter. What's it look like in the fourth quarter? That's what you wonder about. Can Nebraska hold up for the duration of the night?
Now, does John Butler come out with that heavier look? But
yes.
when you do that, though, you take Desan McCullough off the field.
Yeah.
So you replace the jack for another D lineman.
Yeah. But I think you got to play heavy most of this game.
And then you probably – this has to be a big Deshaun Singleton game.
Yes, it does.
Like he needs to get up there, and Rex Guthrie, like those back end safeties have to tackle.
Yeah, that whole front seven and plus it's just a big 11-man game here to stop this. What Penn State's going to try to do to you. Now they're not a big downfield throwing team either. I don't know what your PFF numbers tell you about that, but they haven't been. I think they tried to be, and it just didn't. They brought in transfer receivers, plural, and it just hasn't hit like they wanted it to.
So 3 of Ethan Grunkmeyer's 4 interceptions have come when he's attempted to throw a deep ball.
Okay. He's a freshman. Yeah, freshman.
Or excuse me. Okay. I'm wrong on that, but he's only completed 3 passes of 20+ yards.
Yeah.
He's 3 of 11 on attempts of 20+ yards. He's not been great at even throws of 10 to 20 yards. I mean, he's an interesting guy when you like study the numbers on him. Most of his success as a passer are passes behind the line of scrimmage.
So yeah, he's a true freshman. He's 6'2", 212. He's from Ohio, from the state of Ohio. Not really a running threat.
No.
So that helps. That helps a lot.
He'll take off when it's there, but this is not like what we've seen previously in the year.
Certainly not what Nico gave you.
I mean, they gave Nico a concussion, evidently, and they kept playing him, by the way.
Penn State 107th nationally in total offense. Butler John seemed very confident today, Tuesday, about his defense. He says interesting things. He said it's low-hanging fruit to say we're not a good run defense. Let's say it's low-hanging for a reason. It's right there. We've watched the games. You haven't always defended the run particularly well. But they do other things. Well, they're third nationally in pass defense. They've been good on third down. So I think he feels good about the entire picture.
They've had 2 weeks.
That helps.
So hopefully that will make a difference. All right, let's take it to headline 4. But before we do that, we're brought to you again by our title sponsor, StayHome.Care. Call them at 402-205-2233 to learn more about them and what they can do. And guess what, Sib? Guess who's back in the fold? We're brought to you by Applebee's.
You got to be kidding me.
They're back, baby. The ultimate trio is here at Applebee's. It's perfect for game day. With this app, you're the play caller. You pick 3 apps, 3 sauces for your ultimate trio for just $14.99 with over 80,000 combinations. Applebee's has something everybody will enjoy. Plus, enjoy half-price apps Monday through Friday, 3 to 6. Every day from 9 to close as well. Wings, mozzarella sticks, pretzels, you name it. They're all half off. It's perfect for game day. And let me tell you, Sip, the other big special that's back, and get your paycheck ready.
Yeah.
We dinged you quite a bit earlier.
Yeah, it makes me nervous.
But you go into Applebee's, you tell them, hey, you tell your server, HuskerOnline, you heard about the HuskerOnline deal. We're going to give you 6 free boneless wings with a $10 purchase. Offer is available in Lincoln, North Platte, Scottsbluff, Kearney, Sidney, Grand Island, York, and Columbus. Just those locations, Lincoln, North Platte, Scottsbluff, Kearney, Sidney, Grand Island, York, and Columbus. You will get the wing special. And I'm told everybody should be on board. There were a couple of servers at the Lincoln stores that weren't reading their playbook, that weren't up to speed on the offense. And they stiff-armed a few of our loyal listeners.
Yeah, that sucks. They need to be benched.
If anyone gets that at Applebee's, you pull up this part of the show and you tell them.
Okay.
Because this special is going on again. You're going to get 6 free boneless wings with a $10 purchase.
Give it a whirl.
If you tell them you want the HuskerOnline special,
give it a whirl.
Deduct it off Steve Sipple's check.
Yeah, I don't mind. And here's the thing: just go in there anyway. I mean, if they fumble the deal, you can still get good food.
Yeah, they need to stay up to speed on the playbook.
They do, but you can still have a good time if they fumble.
We've installed it for the week.
Okay.
All right, let's take it
coach.
To headline number 4. Big Ten. So we'll get another full week of Big Ten games here.
Flash those up there if you don't mind.
Yeah, I need to get them pulled up here myself. Here, I'm a little off game here on Tuesday, but interesting, but not really slate of games, and that's why this Penn State Nebraska game's at night. We're going to get Minnesota at Northwestern. And there's bowl eligibility here for Northwestern. That's kind of the storyline there. That it would be big for them.
Quietly, Minnesota having a good season.
How about Northwestern? They should have beat Michigan.
Don't do this with me.
The shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Oh my God, you played that game.
Well, I mean,
who cares?
They had the ball. All they needed to do was get a first down.
How many games every Saturday do you see a team? I could have closed that out, didn't? So what? I mean, parity is. It's never been as close as it is throughout the country. Coming close doesn't matter.
It's like
it doesn't matter at all.
It's like playing Keno. Oh man, my numbers came up. I should have picked them that time.
Great. Tell me more about it.
I've never won in Keno, by the way. I don't play much. It's the hardest game ever.
Yeah, Sean. We'll talk about that.
All right. Rutgers at Ohio State. Buckeyes a 31.5 point favorite. That's the big noon game, and kind of speaks again to the struggles with the Big Ten TV package this year. Ohio State is at Big Noon simply because they're ranked number 1, and they're going to get their 4 million viewers on that game, and that's why they're on there.
To defend Big Noon, the Northwestern Michigan game was good.
And it was at Wrigley.
Yeah, it was cool. I will say that about that game. The setting was magnificent. It was magnificent. Packed, it looked like to me. Very kind of odd configuration of the field, how close the fans were down the first base line. I'm pretty sure that's what I was looking at down the first base line. It was weird, but it was cool.
Can you imagine being at Murphy's Bleacher Bar before that game or Cubby Bear? How fun that would be.
It would be amazing. And I don't mean to, I know what people are thinking, oh, you guys would always say when Frosty was coming close, oh, they're coming close. It was a little different time. And my thinking on that close game thing has evolved, partly because Nebraska. Because we just came to realize it really doesn't mean anything when
all the games are close. The way the style of the play of the league is,
yeah.
You don't see teams take a lot of chances anymore. I feel like they play it very close to the vest. Like you don't see a lot of turnovers in Big Ten games.
Nope, you don't. Not a lot. Most of them anyway.
It's like it's a lot of 3rd and 4 execution plays that and
comes down to that.
And that's what Big Ten football game. And Michigan State at Iowa. How will the Hawkeyes bounce back after that loss at USC, where they had a 14-point lead in the pouring rain in LA and ended up getting beat by Lincoln Riley?
Yeah, Iowa has 4 close losses, 3 of them to very good teams, 1 to Iowa State, Indiana, Oregon, and USC. They've lost close, like their fan base is playing that close game. They're singing that close game anthem.
Nobody blows Iowa out, though. Again, they play a style that makes it hard to blow them out.
Oh, yeah, they keep well on
now,
defense.
Ohio State has blown them out a few times over the years, but that's about it. I mean, they play Michigan, Penn State, Indiana, everyone tough, but the game of the week is USC at Oregon. That's on CBS.
Battle for a playoff bid.
Yeah, if USC wins that game, then they're in contention for a playoff spot.
Yeah, Oregon, and
Oregon might be out.
Yeah, could Oregon afford to lose that game? I don't think so. This is a nightmare scenario for the Big Ten, right? If Oregon loses, there's a possibility the Big Ten only gets 2 teams in.
No, they'll get 3.
You think so?
Because USC will slide up. USC.
Who they got left after Oregon?
UCLA.
Okay.
So 10-2 USC
should get in.
Oregon's 9.5 point favorite, and the other team in the playoff race that could get in with winning out is Michigan plays Maryland, but then they play Ohio State. Yeah. So if Michigan goes 10-2, then Ohio State, Indiana, Michigan would get in.
Yeah, you can't count Michigan out on that Ohio State game,
but they don't have. So Jordan Marshall's out for the year.
I think I don't know. He got hurt in the Northwestern game. They were down to 3. Now I don't know what his long-term prognosis is.
Yeah, Maryland came out this week and said that Mike Loxley's safe. He's coming back. I mean, at this point, though, you have no other option. Like, do you really want to go out in this coaching market?
I don't know. It's interesting. So you're saying that you agree with keeping Loxley and not testing
I actually
the waters?
think Loxley's the best guy for that job because he fits the DNA of the area, has the connections, the relationships. They need to support him, though, and give him the resources.
He has the quarterback.
They better not lose that guy. Malik Washington. They cannot lose Malik Washington.
Somebody could come after him with how much? $2 million?
Hell, Penn State.
Yeah. They'll have to pay him more, is my guess.
Under Armour.
Yeah.
Illinois, Wisconsin. Brett Bielema makes his return into Madison, and they are big favorites, 7.5-point favorites over the Badgers. But I could see Wisconsin making that a game.
Yeah,
their defense has been tough. Washington at UCLA. Washington still trying to get to 9 wins. Washington plays UCLA, then they close with Oregon. So Oregon has a tough finish. They have USC, then Washington.
Really hard. God, could get really interesting, Sean.
Yeah, it's then next week, obviously Black Friday for Nebraska. So this is a unique challenge for Matt Rule's team to play at night for the 4th time on the road this year, then get back to Lincoln for that Black Friday Iowa 11 a.m. game.
So we can watch a little bit of USC Oregon before we depart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we're going to kind of do our own walk to the stadium to see how hard it is to get there and then make that decision.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's before we go to headline 5, again, we're brought to you by StayHome.Care. Great company that does so much for everyone. Call them at 402-205-2233 to learn more about what they can do for you. And we're also brought to you, Stephen M. Civil, by another great company. Tell us about that.
A great company. Larson Motors in Nebraska City. It's one of the Midwest's only dealerships with all the major brands in one beautiful location. So how about finding your new Chevrolet, GMC, Hummer, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram at Larson Motors. That's LarsonMotorGroup.com, or just go to Larson Motors in Nebraska City. Larson Motors, real people,
real deals. All right, let's close the show with odds and ends. Talked about the coaching carousel. How about Virginia Tech? Have they already won the coaching carousel by getting James Franklin?
Well, no, not if Florida or LSU gets Lane Kiffin, then I wouldn't say that. But it's a great hire, and it makes you wonder if my guess is Franklin sort of was turned down at Florida, probably LSU.
Or did he not want to deal with that?
Deal with here's the way I think about it. We think about things differently often, and this is another case. It's fine. Deal with wanting to win a national championship. That's what you go to LSU to win a national championship. Virginia Tech, you don't have as good a chance. You would agree with that, right? You don't have as good a chance at Virginia Tech.
Well, you are in the ACC, and you have a clearer path to the playoff.
Yeah, but you don't have as good a chance to win as LSU. You don't have access to the kind of players LSU has.
Virginia Tech does have some DNA to their program, though.
They sure do. But
this is not like Georgia Tech or something.
No, and in fact,
and no offense to it's a program that
Georgia
has
Tech's playing pretty well these days.
Yeah, I'm just trying. It's not like Wake Forest.
Right, no, and I think actually with Franklin, they will become a top 4 ACC team pretty quickly.
The similarities, because I've been to Blacksburg and I've obviously been to State College, they are so similar.
It's just that Penn State logo is so much stronger. So Franklin's going to now recruit against Penn State, which is interesting.
I remember it would have been 96 when Nebraska played Virginia Tech in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, I remember it vividly.
And I just remember kind of being like a cocky Nebraska, like, who's Virginia Tech? Who are they? I mean, you didn't even know kind of who they really were. You didn't know much
dudes,
about,
didn't they?
And they had dudes.
Yeah.
And Osborne handled them, but it was.
Yeah, they did. But it wasn't that easy.
Jim
right?
Druckenmiller.
Yeah, that was the QB for Virginia Tech. Yeah, they don't have the cachet that Penn State does, or a lot of teams do. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he probably would have taken Florida or LSU over that job.
The big winner, though, is Penn State. The buyout now, they settled on $9 million.
That's amazing. That's a win for their AD.
Yeah, so Pat Kraft got out of that big bill. He's like, we'll just take the tip. You got the bill.
Look at Franklin jumped right back in. Good for him.
Yeah, you could tell, like, he's not this whole thought, like, go sit around and count your money. No,
he's 53.
These guys want to coach. Like,
yeah,
you know Matt Rule well enough. Like, yeah, he could have sat around, but no, like, you want to keep coaching.
Franklin's 53 years old.
Like, what Bo Pelini did,
rare,
out of just pure spite to Harvey Perlman to make sure that he got every dollar, that's unheard of.
Yeah. I mean, Franklin's in his coaching prime.
And if I remember correctly, Bo made Nebraska pay the monthly payments just so
Yes,
they could think about him.
He 100% did. I know that.
Every month he got a check just so Harvey Perlman could think about him.
Yep. All right, keep going.
Fun times.
Yeah, better.
But yeah, Lane Kiffin, how about him?
Well, he's the hottest coach on the market, right? Everybody would like Lane Kiffin. I mean, everybody, right? Who wouldn't? He plays the game really well. He plays the social media game really well. His Ole Miss is going to probably make the playoff. I don't know. I saw Joe Klatt has him number 7. They're in that discussion, but he'd work really well at Florida or LSU. Now, what's happened is Ole Miss has given him till November 28th to decide. They put a deadline on him. You got to decide by November 28th, 10 days from now.
After the Egg Bowl.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see where this goes. My guess is he'll be gone because he hasn't said he'll be back.
It will be one of those stories where like Pete Thamel or Pete Nakos, like during the middle of the Egg Bowl, will like break it.
It'll be pretty crazy that day. There'll be some intense pressure because that name right now is so big, Kiffin.
Think about how controversial it was when he exited Tennessee for USC. This will be similar because of the passion of Ole Miss. And I do think Ole Miss feels like they really believed in him and gave him an opportunity. Because remember, he was at Florida Atlantic.
That's right.
And had to kind of rehab his career.
Good point. He did.
He made Florida Atlantic viable.
He made them viable. Then he took Ole Miss to another level, right?
We were down there in 2019 when he won the conference title. I was down there for something with my wife's family. And I said, at least I go, would you be mad if I went and watched Lane Kiffin give us the conference championship game? We didn't go, but
Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, Florida Atlantic, the Owls.
Who were they playing?
I forget who they played in that conference title game, like Western Kentucky or somebody like that. But he won back. I think he won back-to-back titles there, and then it got the Ole Miss job.
Okay.
And his brother Chris, who worked here, was actually at Florida Atlantic.
Mm-hmm. I think Chris is in the NFL.
Yeah, he's out of college football.
So now it's something to watch. I mean, it's a huge story. It's the coaching carousel story, right?
And I do think just because of the Nebraska angle, there is always kind of an interest in the Kiffins because Monty's from Lexington. He's a Husker. Mm-hmm. Chris coached here. Monty coached here. I mean, look, Lane was born in Lincoln.
Yeah, Lane never, so he never really mentions Nebraska.
No.
For whatever reason. It's kind of weird. Now that you mention it.
I mean, they were back. Going. All right. Other odds and ends that I want to hit on here. How about Husker hoops? They go off to Kansas City now, though, New Mexico, and they're picked to win that game. And they could play Kansas State, I believe, or is it Mississippi State, Kansas State?
Mississippi State or Kansas State. That's right.
So, 2 more kind of measuring stick games that if Fred Hoiberg can get through these 2, then all of a sudden Creighton is kind of your last obstacle of the non-conference where you could theoretically go undefeated.
He could get through unscathed. It looks like to me. I think Mississippi State would be the toughest game of these. If they face Mississippi State, that would be the toughest game. Nebraska showed against Oklahoma a lot. I mean, what made an impression on me was, okay, we always talk about them. They got to knock down threes. They do have to knock down threes, but they do get to the rim. I thought what Sanford did in getting to the rim was really valuable. So you can't just overplay him at the 3-point line. He'll go around you and dunk it.
And that was an NCAA tournament team last year, Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, that's not a great Oklahoma team, though. That's the one. I know it sounds like I'm pouring cold water on the wind, which I'm the king of cold water, but Oklahoma's okay.
A lot of people challenged you on your take on the board that they weren't athletic.
Yeah, did I say that?
Yeah, on the message board, you on a comment, it got a lot of response that you said that Oklahoma was unathletic.
They were not very. They are not. They will not finish in the upper half of the SEC.
I'll tell you, the Big Ten is having a good non-conference right now. Like they're winning.
Tough.
They're winning some of these like November sword fights that will matter later.
Nebraska is an interesting team because they have a guy in mask that can post up. You just don't see back to the basket
and shoot threes.
Yeah, and pick and pop that from the 5 position, which is rink. He can pick and pop off the screen, but also back you down in a traditional center sense. You just don't see that very often anymore. How many times do you see guys backing down somebody back to the basket? He does that. He does it really well.
Well, and there's always the knock that European players aren't real physical. Well, they've got 2 physical ones on this team.
Brink is, yeah.
Who's Burke?
Oh, Burke's a pretty physical defender, yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting team. Hey, what about Nebraska wrestling? That was kind of a surprise to see them, lose back-to-back duels. They're number 2 team in the nation in terms of the dual rankings. They lost 33-3 to Ohio State, 33-6 to Oklahoma State at that National Duels Invitational, where the winning team got $200,000. Nebraska got 4th place. They got $75,000. But Antrell Taylor lost a couple of matches out there.
Number 1 ranked Antrell Taylor,
national champion. Brock Hardy dropped a couple of matches. Silas Allred took a loss. AJ Ferrari took a loss. Kind of a surprise weekend. There might be more to the story. There are some people saying that the team could have been a little bit under the weather with the flu bug. I have no idea, but I don't think anyone expected a result like that.
Sean, they only won 3 of 20 matches on the final
on
day.
Sunday.
Yeah.
The money matches that matter.
3 of 20. Yeah, I haven't heard that flu theory. That's makes you wonder. No matter what, I mean, they were number 2 in the country. This is a bit of a maybe they needed it. I mean, it's a kind of a moment, right? Like, let's see how they rebound from
I've
this.
noted this. I'll read some of the comments from the Iowa fans, the big wrestling fans, and they said it proves that Nebraska's run was just kind of a fluke, that they just got hot on the right weekend. And, so like Manning's team earned a lot of respect last year. Now they're going to have to fight for it back now.
Yeah, they are. I mean, that's a tough weekend. I feel for Mark, but it's a long, long season. There's plenty of time to get back in that top 5. I don't even know if they'll fall out of the top 5. There's plenty of time to redeem themselves. That's the bottom line.
Private equity's dead, by the way.
Oh,
the Big Ten. It's not going to happen.
Wow. I took a bath in the comments. People did not like private equity.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is a one-time payment, but it just, you're essentially getting, I mean, you were going to lose $5.5 million every year off your media rights payout to get this big one-time payment. And Nebraska was going to be in tier 3, which was not popular amongst proud Nebraska fans, obviously, that they're regarded at the same tier as Purdue and Rutgers for football.
It's dead. So no cash influx of $110 million.
No, and Michigan and USC were not on board, and they were big about that. And I mean, Michigan entertained potentially leaving the Big Ten.
Yeah, then you can't do it. Deal's off.
And
hey, tell me, say no more.
And they were trying to get Ohio State on their same page. But yeah, I think that thing was interesting. But yeah, it's not going to happen at this point.
By the way, that's some power by Michigan
and USC.
Yeah, and
USC, I think, was a little disappointed they were regarded as tier 2.
Michigan leaving the Big Ten. It's no longer the Big Ten. Then that's it. That's where I stand.
So yeah, the private equity is dead in the water at this point. And then finally, we talked about Penn State. How about, I want to go back to 2013. How about Pat Smith, that kick he made?
2 of them.
Because the first one was penalized, right?
Well, he got him to overtime with a field goal,
and then he made the game winner.
Then he made the game winner after their false start. Nebraska had a false start, pushed him back 5 yards. So I don't know, was it 47 or something like that?
Yeah, it was 46-47.
And it was cold, swirling.
It wasn't a night game, but it kicked off at 3:30, so it became a night game.
It became a night game. And you've described it as a man's kick, and it was 100%. It was terrible weather, wind swirling, and he hammered.
And what I'll remember about that moment out in State College was Sam Foltz was the holder. And the second the ball went off Pat's foot, like Foltz just stood up with his hands.
Wow.
Like
he knew.
Wow.
And I just got the chills, Sean.
And when Foltz passed away, Pat Smith, the shoes that he made that kick with, he put those shoes on Sam Foltz's grave.
Wow. You give me chills twice. Much better video than the last finish we had.
I've stayed off of volleyball on purpose.
Go to volleyball. No, that was remarkable. And it was a remarkable kick. 3 kicks that Smith made that day. And that's when Nebraska was going and beating Michigan on the road and beating Penn State on the road.
With Ron Kellogg.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
3rd string quarterback. third string QB.
Different. Hey, it was a different league though.
It was, but that was
the Urban Meyer, Jim Harbaugh, Big Ten, James Franklin, Big Ten. It had not become that yet.
No. Penn State wasn't bad though that year.
Well, I mean, they were still coming. It was Bill O'Brien, Penn State. They were sanctioned.
Did they win 6 that year or 7?
6 or 7. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was an okay.
I think they won 7.
Yeah. O'Brien got them to bowl games.
I just say anytime you go on the road in the Big Ten environment like that, when you've done something.
Yeah. When you take your team and win in front of 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Not easy to do.
In those conditions, tough team.
All right. Well, we'll be back Thursday. Regular Husker Online show on Thursday. Thanks for adjusting with us this week as we brought you headlines on Tuesday. For Steve Sipple, I'm Sean Callahan. I'll see you back here on Thursday.